Now at 10 details as authorities investigate the death of a woman in Lamar, Missouri. Plus, Joplin Equality takes to the skating rink to host a fundraiser, and how Pittsburgh business partnered with Pitt State to help students get into the workforce.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
We're learning more tonight about the case of a Carthage, Missouri child who died in a hot car. Authorities say the child entered the car on her own and could not get out. This is KOAM News at 10. You might recall police on Friday afternoon responded to a call about a 3-year-old who was found unresponsive in that hot vehicle. The child was taken to a hospital in Springfield where she died this past weekend. Authorities have now submitted their information to the prosecutor, who will determine whether charges will be filed. A mystery in Lamar, Missouri, where police are investigating the death of a 36-year-old woman. Authorities responded to a home on the 1100 block of Allen Street just before 3 a.m. That's where they found the victim and rushed her to the hospital where she died. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow in Springfield. Let's check in with Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be a great day for us today. Temperatures fantastic. Most of us held into the 80s, which is below our average high. 87, 63 were the numbers. 90 is a normal high. 103 was the record set back in 1970 on this date. We have clear skies. Nothing's going on here. We are watching our next storm system, which is across the northern parts of the plains, and this is going to give us some rain chances by the time we head into tomorrow evening and then lasting into the weekend, which is good. We need some more rain. It's a nice, comfortable night right now. We're sitting into low to mid 70s. We're going to drop back to 63 by morning, 85 by noon, 90 by 5, high temp 91. But you can see a few thunderstorm chances starting to increase late in the day. Of course, we're going to break that down, look at your weekend here in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you then. One Joplin LGBTQ organization is trying to create a safe space for teens and young adults returning to school. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
JOMO Equality is hosting a free back-to-school pride skate. LGBTQ teens, young adults, and allies can skate free at Skateland in Webb City.
To just come and have fun and to realize that they have support. We're always here. We're always available, and everybody has family when you're with us.
Educating the public is one of their goals.
Safe spot for anybody where we can educate and we can support each other, come together, have fun events like tonight.
Events like this gives younger LGBTQ plus community members a chance to interact with like-minded individuals, building a support system, and easing anxiety.
With somebody skating in an environment where you feel safe and you know there are people there who aren't going to look at you differently. It's just very, very affirming, very safe.
Having an established support system before the first day of school gives students an outlet that understands their plight.
Very accepting family, but I have a lot of people who did not at all. There's a lot of tragic stories out there, and I think having a community makes you feel a lot less alone.
Reporting in Webb City, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
To reach out to JOMO Equality, you can go to KOAMnewsnow.com. The Montgomery County, Kansas Commission has committed $100,000 as matching funds for the city of Coffeyville to enhance their broadband access. To be able to get the funds, the city needs to receive a grant from a program called LINK. The city of Coffeyville applied for the program as they want people in rural areas farther from the city to be able to have strong internet access. Some rural families already have wireless service through the city, but they hope for something better.
Cost prohibitive to a family that's out there, struggling, or something that lives out in the country or rural. They can't afford it.
Commissioners say they won't give the city of Coffeyville money for the expansion if they don't get the LINK grant. Our More Power to You tour took us to Coffeyville, Kansas for today's noon, 5 and 6 o'clock news, where we spoke with several community leaders. The city is rich with history and tradition that includes the Dalton Defenders Days and the Brown Museum, the Brown Mansion. Mark Hall has been the city manager for a few years and has lots of goals ahead. Hall says a top priority is to improve housing and infrastructure. Hall says the people of his community deserve the best the town can offer.
They've got a character that is stronger than anything I've ever seen. And with that, they're good people. And my hope is they deserve to win. And it is one of those that I just am amazed every day, is how much they care about each other. And I was going to say, instead of from the top down, in Coffeyville, it's from the bottom up that they care about people.
Due to changes in industry and the 2007 flood, the town's population has decreased by roughly half since 1960. It's now home to about 8,500 people. The Kansas Fire Marshal's Office has a program called Get Alarmed Kansas that offers smoke detectors for hearing impaired or the deaf. The program provides smoke alarms to Kansas fire departments, and then the departments schedule a time to come and install those devices. To be eligible, you must be a resident of Kansas and approved by a doctor.
So what happens is if typically a smoke alarm would go off, this alarm will go off, but it'll make a loud sound, but also an LED flashing strobe. So that way the hearing impaired individual or the deaf individual, if they're in a state of not deep sleep, they'll be awakened.
Hearing impaired smoke detectors run around $65 to $250 if you buy them online. Some Pittsburgh companies are looking for workforce from PSU. KOAM's Yana Hatala has more.
This fall semester, 2 local Pittsburgh companies partner with the Pittsburgh State University to gain some workforce, but also to provide those students some real-life work experience. The 2 companies, CDL Electric and Miller's Professional Imaging, are planning to hire 30 PSU students in total to work with wages in addition to a scholarship.
So it's a very generous $2,500 scholarship that, if they come in, they do a good job, they'll qualify for that.
Some of these kids who didn't think there was a way for them to go to school and be a tradesman, we're just trying to give them a better path.
The companies are looking for students that come and work with a positive mindset.
We're looking for some kids that just want to come in and work hard, and if they show us those traits, we're going to help them magnify their abilities.
The internship could also provide a positive, long-lasting effect.
If they did have a specific study, field of study they went through, we would like to keep them on and help us continue to grow.
Not only are we interning them, we're training them to come in to CDL and work. And so, best of both worlds from us.
Both companies will start the application process soon. Stacy Butcher is ready for the interview process to start.
We're just looking for kids who are going to be 2 feet in, come in, work hard, do what's asked, and actually learn something. Pick out 10, do some interviews, and we'll get them right in. So this program will start this semester.
In Pittsburgh, Janna Hautala, KOAM News.
Classes at Pitt State start next Monday, August 22nd. CDL says some students have already reached out to them. A Kids Count study shows that between 2016 and 2020, the number of children ages 3 through 17 who reported mental health issues rose by 26%. That adds up to more than 1.5 million children. So as students return to school, a counselor at Joplin High says it's important to remind them to check in with you and to protect their mental health, as well as looking at other factors.
Are you getting, between 7 and 10 hours of good sleep? And are you using technology in the middle of the night or late into the evening? All of that affects how our brain works and how it functions during the day when we're awake. And so once again, we do talk about the importance of a routine regarding sleep and getting good sleep at night.
The counselor also says students should not hesitate to reach out to parents, teachers, and school counselors when they need help. Coming up, we're going to tell you what some Kansans have to look forward to ahead of the football season, plus the latest on a federal judge saying he could publicly release portions of the affidavit for the search of Mar-a-Lago. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly today announced that 4 state-owned casinos can begin accepting wagers on sporting events in person and online starting September 1st and will officially open on September 8th. 4 casinos contracted with the state to offer betting are Boot Hill Casino, Ford County, Kansas Star Casino, and Hollywood Casino. Tribal casinos are also working with the state on betting contracts. Public might get to see a blacked out version of the affidavit that convinced a judge to issue a warrant to search former President Trump's Florida estate. Today, that same judge immediately released some records that give insight into the possible crimes the Justice Department's investigating. Deborah Alfarone reports from Washington.
On Thursday, attorneys representing CBS News and other media organizations asked federal magistrate judge Bruce Reinhart to make the affidavit behind the search warrant for former President Trump's home public. Reinhart said he's inclined to unseal it with some parts blacked out.
Judge Reinhart seemed to have a very good sense that it is his job as the gatekeeper in this case to perform his function of balancing the interest in the public of accessing these materials against the interest in the government in keeping them secret.
The court also ordered the Department of Justice to immediately release procedural records that provide new insight into the alleged crimes being investigated, including willful retention of national defense information, concealment or removal of government records, and obstruction of a federal investigation. The Justice Department wants the entire affidavit to stay sealed, arguing that its release would undermine an investigation that's still in its early stages. But the judge said the DOJ had not met the high threshold for keeping the document under wraps. He gave the department's lawyers a week to submit a version with their proposed redactions.
I think we can look forward to discovering a few more tantalizing. For the most part, we're not going to see the core of what we're all very interested in, none of which will be good news for former President Trump.
Mr. Trump has publicly called for the affidavit's release. An attorney for the former president was in the courtroom on Thursday, but only to observe the proceeding. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Washington.
Search warrant affidavits are typically not made public unless and until criminal charges have been filed in a case. They're usually permanently sealed if no charges are filed. A little bit later, the dog days of summer become literal. At Third Thursday, we'll take a look.
Plus, the heat is going to return. Also, some rain chances. We'll look at that coming up. Well, we definitely ended up with a nice Thursday for us today. Temperatures pretty good. We sat into the mid to upper 80s. We had partly sunny skies, those kind of puffy cumulus clouds during the afternoon. Once we lost the heating of the day, those disappeared. We have clear skies now. It looks great. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course. Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, so we had all the rain on Tuesday night. About 80% of us got rain except our western counties. It put a little dent in the drought, but it's still out there. We still got a finger of extreme drought, southwestern Missouri and the northeastern Oklahoma, parts of southeastern Kansas, everybody else under a severe drought. So we need some more rain. We have some more rain chances, which is great. Also, temperatures have been much better. Look at this, past 3 days below average. Something we are not accustomed to, definitely this summer. High temps, most of us were in the mid to upper 80s. We've dropped off a bit. It's actually very pleasant outside. We're sitting into lower 70s. And then on the Kansas and Oklahoma side, we're sitting into the mid 70s. So let's go outside. At the airport in Joplin, 72, easterly winds at 3, humidity is at 73%. Clear skies here, not much going on. Showers, thunderstorms along the Gulf of Mexico states. Those are going to stay south. But here's our next storm system. Look at this little spin in parts of Minnesota, trailing thunderstorms. This system will give us chances for showers and thunderstorms by the time we head into the next 24 hours, or about 24 hours from now, which is good. All right, let's step through time. I'm going to stop at 6:30 in the morning. Look at the comfy temps, low to mid 60s, warm into the 70s, into the mid 80s by noon, and then we'll top out right around 90 degrees. Here's 4 p.m. Scattered thunderstorms, northern counties. Everybody else is going to be dry. These scattered thunderstorms will try to drop southeast through the evening, but just really have a hard time holding together. 7 p.m. and then picking up a little bit again after about 10 o'clock. I think our best shot for some rain actually gets in here after midnight. Now, these are mainly going to be along and north of I-44 tomorrow night, but they are going to be scattered, very hit and miss, but hopefully we'll get some. A few scattered showers Saturday morning. Most of Saturday looks okay. We heat back up, and then here comes scattered thunderstorms once again on Saturday afternoon. But we're going to flip it. And so the northern counties is kind of central, and southern counties Saturday evening. Now, some of those could be strong, possibly severe, as we get into the weekend. So we need to watch that. lasting into Sunday morning. All right, so if you have outdoor activities tomorrow evening or Saturday, yes, we have some hit and miss storms. Do not cancel them. This is not going to be a rain out. These are going to be hit and miss storms, so we can definitely handle that. All right, here's your day planner tomorrow. 63 to start, 85 by noon, 90 by 5, high temp at 91. Those isolated storms only in our northern counties for us tomorrow evening, but something we'll keep our eyes on. All right, 91 tomorrow, 93 Saturday. A little bit cooler on Sunday, 84, and then back into the low to mid 90s all the way through next week. Fairly dry as well, so it'd be nice if we can squeak out a few rainmakers over the next couple days.
Yeah, the more the better right now, because we know that it won't last for long. Thanks,
absolutely.
Doug. These dog days of summer can be pretty hot in addition to being dry, and Third Thursday in Joplin is taking dog days of summer literally. The Downtown Joplin Alliance today hosted the Dog Days of Summer Third Thursday with special guests being, dogs. At the event, there were dog watering stations to cool down your pet, and maybe the best part, a doggy fashion show.
So I would definitely say if your dog comes and they're uncomfortable or they get past their threshold where they're just being reactive or you can just clearly tell they're not having a good time, cut it short and leave, but go ahead and try. It doesn't hurt to see if your dog enjoys something like this, but you can always leave early if they're not having fun.
Also at the event was dog obedience training. Still ahead, Galena returns a talented senior class. Sit, stay, and Parsons head coach Jeff Scheibe explains how the Vikings can go from a good team to a great one. Danny Terzer has that and more up next.
Practice, and the Vikings are looking to build on last year's 7-3 record. Parsons will be strong on defense. They're deep and will look to play physical. Offensively, Trey Mack returns at quarterback. The Vikings should also have a solid run game. Jamarion Washington will lead the backfield. He had 578 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns as a sophomore last year. But what Parsons really needs in order to go from good to great is leadership.
Do we want to be good or do we want to be great? In order to take those next steps and be a great team, we need more of a player-led team. Chris Beard has stepped in and immediately became a leader of the team. Riley Baker is back. He's been a 100% guy his whole career. Cole Manners is back at center. Trey Gender, another guy that, he showed up one day and thought he was late, and he was actually 5 minutes early, and he was jogging. So that's the culture we're trying to establish here.
Galena has the tools to put together another good season. Once again, they'll play a physical and tough brand of football. The Bulldogs have to replace quarterback Brett Sarwinski, so Zane Turner is their new guy under center. He's surrounded by a very talented senior class that will lead Galena this year.
Anytime you have a senior-led team, it's amazing. And this group here, they work hard. They're good friends, and that's what you want. They really want each other to do well, and I think that's been the big thing. And they're great tutors for our young kids, mentoring, and so we're just really excited to see what they can do.
The St. Louis Cardinals host the series finale against the Rockies today, and this time last week, Colorado took a series from St. Louis, but today the Cards have a chance to sweep. Cards up 4-0 in the second. Paul Goldschmidt goes deep. Rockies can't make the play at the wall, so it's an RBI double. Next inning, 1-0 pitch to Albert Pujols. He sends it into the stands. Home run number 690 of his career is a grand slam. St. Louis putting this one away with help from Adam Wainwright and the defense as well. Lars Nootbaar makes the diving catch. He homered in the 5th, then flashes the glove here in the 6th. Wainwright pitches 7 scoreless innings. Cards hammer the Rockies 13-0. Kansas City kicks off a road series with Tampa Bay today. All Rays in this one. They drive in 5 in the 7th inning and go on to win the opener 7-1.
It's tough being a Royals fan this time of year. You know, right now they're playing for, I don't know, pride, I guess, maybe hopes for next year.
Yeah, and then you got the Cards. Pujols has just been so fantastic, and I think everyone, not just Cards fans, are rooting for him to get to 700.
Absolutely. It'd be nice to see him end his career as a winner, as it's been his entire career. We'll be right back. Take time now to honor a local veteran. Paul Dotter served in the U.S. Army Air Corps from 1942 to 1946. His hometown, Coffeyville, Kansas. And we are proud to salute Second Lieutenant Paul Dotter, a four-state hero. Now, earlier today, we were live in the downtown plaza of Coffeyville, Kansas. Here's a behind-the-scenes look at the More Power to You tour from today. We were there during our 5 and 6 o'clock news, also during the noon. With the completion of our More Power Tower project, we're celebrating by traveling to different areas of the viewing area for these live newscasts. Next Thursday, we're going to be live in Neosho, Missouri from Big Spring City Park. So hope you come out, join us there, say hi, enter for a chance to win a Roku, Chiefs tickets. A lot of reasons to be there.
And, you know, this is our second week doing it. Last week,
Miami,
thank you.
Fairgrounds.
Yes. It was hot today, but it wasn't blazing hot like it was last week, which is good. But next Thursday it could be hot, 95 degrees, 91 for us tomorrow, some scattered thunderstorms late, 93 Saturday.
Final sports note.
Practice in full swing across the 4 states. Missouri schools start their jamborees tomorrow, so really excited just to get started with everything.
You bet. Hey, thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with more video from the Dog Days of Summer event at that third Thursday in Joplin. Let's make it a great tomorrow.